In this lesson we will learn to conduct a cable pulling calculation in Etap. So I am in the new project window over here in my new presentation. So let's draw a single line diagram. I will have a utility, a transformer, a cable and then a load. And I will put in buses over here. And let me connect this. Okay, let me write the components in my single line diagram. This will be a 11 kV utility or power grid with a maximum value of short circuit current, and that is modeled over here. Now for my transformer I will go to the rating page, then this will be 415 and this will be rated for 100 kVA transformer, and I will go to the impedance page and put in typical values over here. So my transformer is modeled and I will model my load over here. So my load will be 50 kVA with 90% of power factor, and then I will write the cable. So I will double click on the cable. So the length of the cable will be 20 meters, and I will put in some 10% of tolerance. Then going to the library, I will have to pick a cable from the library. So I will select the cable having the frequency 60 Hz, aluminum, voltage will be 600 volt and a 3-core cable. So I will have to select the size from over here. I will take this size for now and I will click on OK. Then let's conduct a quick load flow over here. So let me conduct the load flow study. Okay, everything is within the margins. Then we will go to the cable pulling system. On my left side I have this option over here, the cable pulling system. Then I will click on this and we will go to the cable pulling systems over here. So I will maximize this window. So on this portion, when I double click on this portion, I have the type of the conduit over here. So the ID of the conduit is the conduit itself, and I can change the type of the conduit over here, and depending upon it the coefficient of friction will also change over there, and I can also change the size of the conduit over here and the outer diameter of the conduit. So the thickness is also shown over here. So the friction factor depends upon the number of segments and the number of bends. So at present I have put some 35 bends and 35 segments over here. If we are using more than 35 segments, then I will have to come here and edit this over here. So at present the percentage fill is 0 because we have not put any cables in the conduit for now. So let's do that first. So on my left side over here we have these options over here. This first option is the existing cable and the new cable. So I have already a existing cable in my single line diagram. So if I want to pick that cable, then I will have to go to the existing cable option over here and drop my cable in the conduit. So now this will ask which cable I want to pick in my single line diagram. Because I have only a cable in my single line diagram, I can only select this from the drop down menu. So I will click this on OK, and now you can see the percentage fill over here. So the percentage fill is 15.9, and now I could change the conduit size, and by changing the conduit size to 3, you can see the change in the percentage fill over here. So I will change this to the conduit size of 3 or 3.5. okay, I will use the 3.5, and here we are. And if I want to put in a new cable, then I can use this option over here. And when I double click on the cable over here, I have the info page and the physical page. And in the physical page, I have the dimensions over here, the cable outer diameter and the kV size, etc. So the number of conductors, then the maximum tension. So the maximum pulling tension is 6 lbs per kc mil, and the sidewall pressure is 450 lbs per feet. And this is the weight of the cable over here. So this is a 3-core cable, and we have 3 cores over here. So I will click this on OK. And next what we need is a routing plan. I have already created a routing plan, so I will show you my routing plan. And this is my routing plan. So I have drawn this in AutoCAD Electrical, and this is my substation, the transformer bay and the cable bay over here. So I will be drawing the cable through a conduit to this control room over here. So this is the path of the conduit, and the distances of the conduit is shown over here. This is 2, 11.5, 3 and 2.5. So we will be pulling the cable through these bends over here. So this has 3 bends over here. So this is the routing plan, and we will be performing our calculations according to this routing plan. So let's go back to Etap. So now we are back in Etap, and we will continue with our cable pulling system. So first I will have to provide in more segments over here. So let's do that. And in order to add a new segment, I will go to the new segment option over here on my right side. Then I will click this several times, so I get a number of segments over here. So the first segment, the length will be 2 and the slope will be 0. And the second segment, the length will be 11.5, and the horizontal angle will be 90 degrees, and the bending radius will be 5. And for the third segment, this will be 3, and the horizontal angle will be minus 90 degrees, and again the bending radius will be 5. And for the fourth segment, this will be 2.25 in length, and will have a 90 degree horizontal angle with a bend radius of 5. And I will remove these segments over here. So I will click this and press on delete, again press on delete. So now we have our routing plan over here. So I can change the angle of view like this. So this is my x-axis, this is my y-axis. So as you can see, this is the cable bay, and from the cable bay I will pull my cable through in this conduit to my control room. If I double click on this portion over here, this keeps on rotating. So I double click again, it stops over here. And next we will go to the edit study case option over here, and we will look over here. So the 3 cable configuration is put at cradled or triangle. Since this is a 3-core cable, there is only a configuration. So there is no cradle configuration or triangle configuration, as this is only applicable to 3 cables. And the cable tolerance is also shown over here, the weight, the outside diameter, and the maximum allowable tension. And the maximum allowable tension has these reduction factors over here. These are actually the reflection of the weight correction factor, and the reduction factor tells us how much percentage we will have to reduce our maximum allowable tension. And this is for up to 3 cables, so I do not have any reduction factor over here. And this is the reduction factor for a single core cable, and this is the reduction factor for a 3 core cable. So since we are in the 3 core cable, there will be a reduction factor of 40% of the maximum allowable tension. And the reel to conduit. So the cable length that I will be drawing from the reel will be 20 meters. So I will have to convert this into feet. So that will be roughly 65 feet. So I will click this on OK. And now we have all the input data provided to my cable pulling system, and next we will have to perform the calculation. And in order to perform the calculation, I will go to this option over here, that is the calculate cable pull. So clicking on this, I will provide an output file name. And this is the result. So the maximum allowable pulling tension for this cable is 4501 lbs, and the equivalent length of the cable pulling of the reel, which is the one I have provided into it, and the total length of the pull is 42 feet. So let me close this option over here. Then I will go to the report manager over here, then going to the input data. So we will see. So the input parameters, the maximum allowable tension, the equivalent length of the cable, total length of the pull, and the total and the tolerance for the cable diameter, and everything is over here. And I can also go to the result. So now we have the length of all the segments over here. I have not provided any slopes, so the slope degree is 0. The length is provided in feet over here. So we have done all our calculations in feet, and we have the radius over here, which is also in feet, and the angle over here, and the sidewall pressure, the maximum tension in lbs, and the forward pull over here. So let me close this option over here, and we also have the forward pull and the reverse pull over here, and also the sidewall pressures at these points over here. Now we have conducted the cable pull calculation for a 3 core cable. So next I will do this for a single core cable, which will have 3 cables in the same conduit.